This post is inspired from reading a page from the Carolyn Miss book when I was at my friend's home. And it was called A Moment of Contemplation, Guidance for Detaching, which inspired contemplation during my meditation. And it gave me an epiphany. And I was seeking a heartfelt, healthful detachment from a way of being with someone. And that attachment that relationship turned out to be a power struggle. Carol Miss says we leave fragments of our spirit here and there over the years. And she says, in these pieces, whether it's in the present moment or over the past, are glued like barnacles on a ship to various places, and I would say within us. And she says various places, physical places, objects, people, memories, and especially unfinished business, which would be my situation. So detaching from someone can be extremely challenging, especially if you're a loyal person, which I am. And I need to say that, however, it is a natural practice for your spirit, your emotions, your mental health and well-being, because we can't sit and hold on to the dead zone, and we can't be guarding ourselves or shutting the other person out, because like Carolyn says, that's the barnacles that stay within us, and the memories get triggered through putting on a dress that we used to wear when we saw them, or going to those places. So with practice, the attachment gets clearer, and the practice must be rigorous. We must really look at it. So you might want to do this practice. You think about someone that qualifies as an attachment for you, something that you really struggle with to feel clear about, that you haven't been able to quite process and clear out of your nervous system and your mind, or that you're left with questions around or wondering why that person continues to be that way and you feel triggered. The following exercise and detachment is brief but powerful. This is a situation that you know you really should have detached from, but it hangs on. Now that you want the person, you don't want the person to go away. That's what it is. You want the relationship to transform, to change, to have a new way of relating to that person. And even if they are not changing, transforming, you can transform and have a different relationship with that person. If you are still processing someone and how you feel about someone, and if it feels like it doesn't go away from your daily thoughts as something that intrudes and makes you feel uncomfortable, you'll benefit from this practice. So go into silence and ask for guidance, or connect to your guidance if that's a practice you're already good with, for how to settle this with this person. See the person in front of you. Feel the feelings of what it feels like when relating to that person. Feel how your spirit feels stuck there, and ask, what do I need to know? So this is my morning practice. I do this every morning. I've been doing this for maybe 4 decades now. 4 decades. So you hold the intention of being free from the attachment and creating a healthful one. What did you hear as guidance? And did any symbols come to your mind? Sometimes I get symbols. So it may take more than once to get the answer you've been looking for, or you might have stepped right over the answer. It might have came straight away. And it will take you going past. We need to go past our hurt, past our pride, past our anger, our fear, our defenses, our wanting to fix things, our wanting to be heard, wanting to be right, wanting to be understood, having to have it all together, look like we know best, and all of the judgments that we form about the situation and the person, and all of the reasons that we have, which have us feel more powerful. Yes, this is what's happening, and more in control of the situation. We release all of those because we're in a power struggle with that person. They're in a power struggle, we're in a power struggle. Because no one holds on to any attachment unless, one, there's some energy connection. That's the healthy part. And unless there's some currency of power involved. We can have a dual attachment, and usually we do. So this practice will complete that. It will separate the unhealthy practice away from the healthy. As long as we have to defend the imaginary self that we have, that we think is important, we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves when our shadow competes or fights with their shadow. It is our painful memories and unresolved issues with the other person that leads us to think that that gives us a certain right to ask for certain things, to expect. So expect special treatment or seek empathy, having them to have them understand us and hear our needs, or want forgiveness or other entitlements from the other person. We release all of these. We release the root cause of attachment. That's what these are, the root cause. The power our mind and nervous system holds on to, because the body and mind are in survival and we need to feel safe, which can only come from trauma bond, which is created from our past. It's triggered from our past. So imagine detaching completely your soul, your body, your spirit, your energy, your mind, your feelings. Imagine lifting up beyond all of these and give yourself permission to let your world change, to transform. And you can imagine cutting the cord, only that's not really what we're doing. You're detaching yourself from the trauma and the power. So you can cut the cord to the trauma and the power, and you won't lose the connection from the person, because this transforms. So the person doesn't have to go away, or they might go away because it is a healthy separation. Ask yourself, what do I need to do now? And who do I need to speak to? That other person. And what needs to be spoken? What do I need to say or not say? This meditation, this exercise will help you see the power of both sides and both attachments. Okay, so you might not see them, get it intellectually, fully, but you'll have a knowing. You'll get it that it's both of you are in this power struggle, which is why it feels so hard to detach, even if you want to, which is why you feel uncomfortable, which is why it impacts the nervous system and it hurts, and you're unable to process or have the memory leave you. If you're struggling to do this practice, you might need to ask yourself, do I really want to receive clear and direct guidance? Even the ancient mystics spoke about receiving the clearest directives in the most profound visions during their meditations and connecting to their guides. They speak about finding it difficult at times to carry out the guidance that they receive because we're still attached, or we don't see how this can help. So if you receive guidance that makes you feel uncomfortable, such as making a phone call to that person and owning your part without pointing out theirs, even if their part is equal to yours or even much greater, or even if they're the one who started it, even if they're the one who continues it, even if they're the one who steps right over acknowledging what they did, and now you're in this power struggle, we acknowledge our part. We clear the space. We release the power struggle. Those attachments in the present that are actually those attachments that we have left in the past, where we are entrenched in relationships or memories that hold power over us, and what we attempt to control or have power over. So, what do I need to know? If we want to become a conscious human being, which I know you do, in spirit, mind, body, These all need to be integrated, and our actions need to be congruent with what we truly value above and beyond the trauma bond and the power struggle. We must examine our relationships to power. We must examine our power struggles and attachments everywhere in all of our relationships. I did this practice yesterday. I made a phone call and I feel so cleared, whereas I couldn't release the impact of another person's words and actions. And I couldn't release the need to feel heard and understood. So that's all cleared now. So I hope this benefits you, me sharing my practice with you. As always, I will always, even though it's not really my favorite thing to do, I will always share with you my epiphanies and my awarenesses in trusting that it is of benefit to those of you out there. We're all going through this together. So thank you for listening.